Hi everyone, this is Dr. Tom Gerard, and I wanted to go over a few things that's going to help you in this class. First of all, I want to go over some things in the McGraw-Hill Connect that's going to help you, and how you find videos to help you walk through some of the things that they're trying to teach you. Also, I want to show you some really quick and easy things for this chapter too. Okay, so let's go here. So here I'm in the view, what you might see when you're in Connect. All of these things up at the top, there's no points for these. These are just if you want to do them for help, you can do that. You're not required to do it. Down here is the units. You'll see Unit 1, Unit 2. They each have 3 assignments that are due for those particular units. And so go ahead and do those, all right? Now, some units will get down and there might be some additional things for extra credit or other things that I assign. But for the most part, these up here, no points, they're just for your information. What I really wanted to show you is, over here on the left, there's a thing that says Media Bank. I can click Media Bank, and it's going to bring up 106 media files. If I want an Excel tutorial, I can filter it. It's still 71 files. Well, this particular chapter is about graphical presentation, which is frequency tables. So let's do this. I'm going to sort it by frequency, and here you go. How to build a frequency table. How to build a frequency table using a pivot table. And so this is the stuff that you're going to encounter right here in Chapter 2. And whatever chapter you're studying, you could search and find that information here. Okay, let's go back to Chapter 2. And Chapter 2 is talking about graphical presentation. Now, frequency table, frequency distribution, if you don't know what that is, don't matter. That's what you're here for, right, is to learn these things. So, but graphic means we're going to give you some picture to help you understand something. So, we're going to use this data set of an automotive dealerships. These are names of dealerships. These are the profits per car. These are the age of the person. This is the type of car. This is whether or not they bought a car from you before or not. So this is like lots of information. And if you go down, and I won't go all the way down, there's 180 lines here. Okay, so 180 lines. So imagine you're supposed to give a report to the big bosses of the dealership or the dealership people, and you're saying, okay, we're going to talk about which dealership sold the most car. They're going to get a bonus there, and which was the best type of car we sold, which was the ones that we made the most profit on, what were the most likely profits that we made on each car. These kinds of things. And if you hand out this spreadsheet with 180 lines, people are looking at it like, oh my gosh, can't make heads or tails out of this. It's just a bunch of numbers and names, and wait a minute, did I get the bonus? I don't know. So that's what this is about. Graphical presentation to make sense of this. Okay, so now some of the things that they do in your book, they do things difficult. And I want to show you how to do some things easier. I'm about easy. So now, first of all, I have to take the assumption that many of you don't know Excel at all or have hardly ever used it. So if you're one of those people, please email me and I can send you some resources to help you with Excel. Then others, this is going to be, maybe you already know how to do all this stuff anyway. But just give you an example here. We got 181 lines. And the first thing I want to do is I want to determine, in fact, our PowerPoint, if I can go back to that, it says we want to build a frequency table. A frequency table. Now, by the way, in your book, whenever you see this green, that means that's a definition. You'll see another box that's orange many times as we get on later on, and it'll be a formula. Okay? So the main thing about this is it's mutually exclusive and collective exhaustive. What does that mean? Mutually exclusive means data fits in one class. That means you can't be a freshman and a senior at the same time. You're either a freshman or you're a senior. You're not both. You can only be, it's mutually exclusive. You only, in other words, think of the car dealership. This car was sold at this dealership. It's not sold at 2 dealerships, it's sold at 1. Okay, collective velocity means there is a class for each value, meaning every car we're going to talk about is in this list. Okay, there's no other cars that we sold that aren't here. This is exhaustive, meaning everything. Okay, So here's our idea. We want to know who sold the most cars, right? Which dealership? Now, obviously, they give you the little answer here, but we're going to show you how you do this. This is the graphical representation of how we can see this. So I could give a person this, where they have to look at it, and that's easy because we're only talking about a few different things. But what if we were talking about 100 different things? Okay, so we're going to make a little chart like this. Very easy to see. I can hand it out. Everybody already knows, oh, these guys are getting the bonus. We're not getting it, right? They get it every year. Bar chart, this is the definition. Now, the other thing about these charts and graphs, why do we talk about bar charts, pie charts, different things? It's because they each have a purpose. And one of the things you have to keep in mind is who's your audience? What is it you're trying to bring across to them? Because it doesn't really do you any good to get a really fancy, beautiful work of art in your chart if nobody can understand what it's all about. Most of the time, you can impress your friends and family or whatever with beautiful charts. But the truth is, when you really get in business, it's about how do I communicate all this data and all this information in the most simplest, easy way to understand. And sometimes people in school, they try to teach you to make fancy stuff. But the truth is, in real life, simple is better. So how are we going to do this? Let's go back to my thing. So first of all, I'm going to say I'm going to use a pivot table. Now, if you've never used a pivot table, you're going to be wonderful, thankful for this because it's going to make your life great. Okay, so first of all, this is my data. I'm going to hit Insert, Pivot Table, click. Okay, so now, actually I did it wrong. So first of all I need to do is click in this area. I don't have to highlight the whole thing like you do sometimes. Now, pivot table, and it's already knows this is a table. We used to call these the little dancing ants. They dance around it. Now, in some things you have to check to make sure it's choosing the right thing. Most of the time on a pivot table, it's always going to know what to choose. Now, where am I going to put this information? If I leave it this way, it's going to make a whole new tab on my Excel. I don't want to do that. I want to see it right here. So I'm going to just put it right up here on G3. Okay, G3. Now, you'll see you've got this little dealio here. Now I'm going to move my thing. You already know this is all the data over here. Lots and lots of cars, lots of dealerships. Move this over here. And you'll see we've got this pivot table area brought up, okay? And here's where our data is going to display. So what are we interested in? We want to know the dealer location. Okay, so first of all, we see this dealer location, and all I'm going to do is take this and drag it down here. Maybe. There we go. And you'll see right up here, it's automatically said that there's 4 dealerships. Now, obviously, we know that's the correct answer, but imagine if you had 200 different things and you didn't know if there was 50 or 100 or 200. This is automatically count. It tells you there's 4 different dealerships. So what do we want to do now? We want to count. So what can we do? Well, let's take profit, for example. It could be really any of these at this point. But we're going to take profit. We're going to put over here. And you'll see what it's done now. It says sum of profit. What it's done is it's told you the profits that were made at each dealership. Now, this is not the question. The question is how many cars did you sell? Now, maybe you are interested in profit, and that's okay too, because you can have that here. But what this question in the book is for the bar graph is which dealership sold the most cars. So now what we're going to do is come back over here, and we're going to click on this, and we're going to hit Value Field Settings. And Value Field Settings, we're going to change it to Count, and there we go. We're going to hit OK, and there it is. There's our count. Okay, now this is great because I can count this. By the way, just to show you how this works, now that I've got this built, this pivot table, if I decided, well, I want to know how many of each type of car, I can go over here to my little thing, grab the location, take it out, bam, and bring in oh, where's my car? Vehicle type, bam, there. Now, it's automatically counted that fast. Quick and easy, but we're interested. That's going to be for our pie chart, by the way. Okay, so let's go back. So we want to do location, count. There it is. Now I'm going to make my chart. Now, what am I going to do? I'm going to highlight, not the blue, just what's in this chart. Okay, now I'm going to come up to my Excel. See if I can get up here. Insert, And I'm going to go over here, and you'll see this section here. I'm on the Insert tab. Always think about that. And it says Chart, and there's one that looks like a bar chart. How about that? Now there's lots of them. Again, like I said, you get fancy, but let's be simple. Boom, there it is. So there's what we see. This is the same chart that's kind of showed. Now, you know, well, you can get up in here and get in Design and look at some different fancy dancy things. But in fact, look at this one here. It tells you the name of the dealership and how many cars they sold. You know, it's all automatic. That's why Excel is fantastic. It tells you all these, it does all this stuff for you, you know. So that's that one. Okay, let's get rid of that one. And now what do we want? The other one was, we wanted that pie chart on, which is the second one. We want the pie chart on the type of vehicle. Okay, let's get rid of location. And I'm going to give the vehicle type. Boom. Remember, we're keeping this on count. Okay, there it is. Highlight. And now go up to Insert. And now we want a pie. There's the pie. Simple. Now, again, whoop. Again, I can come over here to Design, find something fancy, right? But really what I want, now see, maybe you like this one here. Let's take this one. This is a good example of what I'm trying to do here. But you'll notice it's got this for colors, and I don't like that. I'm going to get rid of that. Let's do this. Now you'll see it's 10%. Okay, so let's see. What does that mean? So what I want to do is I want to click on this. This is my label for the different pieces of the pie. And I'm going to right-click on that. Oop, you can't see this. I'm going to bring my little thing down. I'm going to right-click on that. And you notice it shows them all. Okay, format data labels. Bam. Over here. Now what I want to see. What is 5%? Well, let's see. It's the category name. I want to add that. Category name. Oh, and by the way, I added percentage. Right, because we want to know what's the percentage. That's why you do the pie chart. But now look at it all kind of squished together. Obviously, I can make this bigger, but you know what I want to do is bring them out. I can go out here, outside in, just like that. Bam, and it's all done for me. So now I know if I wanted to know what the values were. How many compacts is 15%? Click this button over here, value. Whoop. There it is, value right there. So compact, we sold 27, that's 15%. Sedans, we sold 72, 40%. See? So I did that, the bar chart, the pie chart, real quick, real easy, using pivot tables. And again, hopefully this will help you. And I'm going to stop here. The next one is going to be way more complicated. It's got 4 different steps, and I can go through that one too if you like.